Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PSGL, PST, Season 29, F40, round number 12 at Mexico. I'm your commentator, I am Leon, or people know me as Gerard Fosbury. Welcome. Today for F4, as we see, already some people have set qualifying lap times. Right now then, Shane is on pole with a 1:14.3. LRB with a 1:14.6, Freaky Fast with a 1:14.8, and then on Zeus with a 1:15 flat on the softs. Then we have two medium runners. Trinity with a 1:15.9, they're not a bad lap there, with Jax in 6th with a 1:16.4. Then we have IFR Noah in 8th with a 1:21.6, Rudy with a 1:29 flat, and Knuth with a 1:42 flat, as Jabraka's just done a 15.5, and Rudy's gone the second with a 14.6, so he does improve, and Slimbo now takes second with a 14.4. So people are setting laps. As DV now, one of the title contenders for this season's championship, along with Rudy and Trinity. As DV then, let's go on board on his lap. As he's approaching now turn number 1. Nicely tied now into 2. Quickly get the rotation into 3. Gets decent exit there. Activates DRS down the straight. Probably going to get a cheeky little bit of tow from the Aston. The Aston's still on the racing line. Aston's now off the track there to let him through. Purple is sector 1 at the moment, so he could be on for pole position. It has to be at 14.3. As the Williams head just moves out of the way. Now this is the tricky section. You've got to get right. If you make one little error, it can either be an invalidation into the wall, or you just lose a ton of time. And DV's done a pretty good job there. And for some reason my internet is not sufficient. Why is... Hopefully that does fix itself. Apologies for that if the quality and everything is dodgy at the moment. It shouldn't be like this. Then DV now around the final corner, coming to the line, and it's going to be a 1:14.643. Goes 4th quickest with a 1:14.643 obviously, and only a couple hundreds faster than LRB05, but a lot quicker than Trinity on the different compound of tyre. Is anyone finishing laps? No one's on an outlap obviously. No, Jetlitus is actually on a lap right now. He's in 16th currently, no lap time set, obviously, in the Mercedes. Purple in sector 1 apparently, so let's see how he goes. Nice and tidy so far. Oh, Rhea really kicked out there, but kept it under control. DRS activated now, 55.581. Not purple this time in the second sector, so maybe not challenging for pole now. You've got to get this right. Nice and tidy. Nice helmet design as well. Now through the final corner, got to get it right unless you want to do a Bottas. Coming to the line then, and it's a 14.5. Goes 3rd quickest at the moment, not that far off the pole position man, only a couple of tenths. As the Ferrari of Opie Zane is on a lap right now, currently in sector 1 at 28.5, not purple. However then, approaching the S section, a lot of traffic. He is off the track now, and was very surprised it wasn't invalidation there, as he was completely off. And that's Freaky Fast. Oh, that's probably invalidated, and yes it is. That's the Ferrari's lap done and dusted there. And I don't believe anybody else is doing another run. Rocco might be actually, to be fair. Trinity currently in 12th with the 1:59. Currently, I believe, your championship points leader at the moment. He's done a very good job. A couple of wins under his belt. He's probably going for another one. Unfortunately, apparently his win last week did get taken from Knuth, since Knuth's penalty was removed, which is fair, obviously. But Rocco may have rather have the win, but he'll take second from last week. However, he knows what he wants to do. He wants a win and to extend his championship lead, as he's now approaching the final couple of corners to set this soft run lap. He should easily beat his time. As a 1:15 is his best on the mediums, and his best soft run's the second quicker, the 1:49.76, currently 9th quickest right now. Trinity hasn't really been the best recently at qualifying, but he's been better on the race stint, so yeah, so let's see how he can perform under the pressures. We're going to go on board with his team actually. Cameron Young's actually backed off actually, so we're not going to go on board with him. Any driver finishing their laps? What about Ron Zeus? No, he's going in the pits. Slimball's on an outlap. Gustav's also on out lap. Let's have a look. Is that Noah or is that Ruben? Noah may be on a lap. No, he's not. No, Noah's not on one. It's definitely not one. Oh, hang on a minute. There's a bit of carnage, it looks like. Further down. I think Trinity's gone for another run. Has he gone for another run though, as we've got yellows in sector 2 and 3? And he's definitely not. I believe Shane then is finishing his lap. No, he's not. As we will go on board the Cameron this time then, as he's coming down the long big straight. As it was Red Bull favourite in real life. I know Cameron is a Max Verstappen fan, so hopefully he can do the Red Bull people proud. As he's now going into turn 1 there, nice and tidy. It hits the curb, into 2. Rides the curbs, nice and tidy through 3. Gets a decent exit. Activates DRS now. Into 8th gear. Purple in sector 1, 28.1. A lot quicker than JR Lotus, who's currently 4th by a couple of tenths there. It's Cameron there, really fighting the car, trying to get it to turn in. He's just off the track and invalid, so he's really struggling with the rotation of the car. And hopefully he can get that sorted for his final attempt later on in quali. Is anyone on a finishing lap? Jabraka's behind him on the soft tyre. Currently with a 1:15.5 mediums. 14th right now. So we have 7.5 minutes remaining in the session. Back then, around the final corner now. Coming to the line. Takes the shortest route possible, and it's second with a 1:14.416. So he's definitely going to be helping his team out today. Being ahead of Rudy at the moment. So he's doing a cracking job there for the Haas team. As right now then, we're going to go on board with the other Haas of DV. He's on a lap right now, currently approaching the final corner. Is he going to be up there? And it's 6th, 14.5. It's very close from first all the way down to 14th, really. 14th is just under a second, so not that bad from the drivers for F4, as an Alpine is next to finish lap. I believe that is freaky fast, and it is in the Alpine now, approaching the final couple of corners now. He's currently in 10th with a 1:14.8. Will he be able to improve his lap? No, he decides to go on the pit lane as he isn't happy. I don't believe Jabraka's doing another run. No, he's not. However, JR_Lotus, or JR I'm going to just call him, he is on a lap right now. Let's see his second sector. Is he purple? He is by a couple hundredths there on the time. So he is up. He needs to find a lot more time though to try and challenge for pole. As he's now approaching the final couple of corners. Nice entry and exit there from the Mercedes driver. Now through the final corner. Let's see what he can do. Taking the shortest line again. To the line, and it's a 14.359. Almost takes pole there. Just misses out there, but he will be happy at the moment to be on second, because usually you don't want to start first at Mexico because it's not the best, as a lot of people can get a good run on you into turn 1. There's only 3 people who haven't set lap times. That's Toxic Tomato and Gustav, and OP_Zin at the moment. There's an Alfa Romeo. Jax, he's just come across the line. He's apparently in a 1:14.7, currently in 10th place right now, as there's an Aston of Slimbo on outlap. Nobody's actually on a flyer, so Slimbo will be the next person to start a lap, as there's 5.5 minutes remaining. Will he have enough time if he makes a mistake? I'll have to wait and see. Then his lap is beginning then. Down the long straight, the Aston is going. Let's see what his straight line speed is. 201 miles an hour into the braking zone now. Through turn 1 now. He's got a bit of traffic ahead of him. Hopefully traffic doesn't affect him. Nice tidy through 2 and 3. Gets a decent exit. Up to 6 now. And he's getting slip, which isn't allowed. Even that might not have been a lot of an advantage, it's still slip. You're not allowed to do that. It is against the PSGL rules, so I wonder if that will be investigated by the stewards. But right now, he's taking it. Currently in 4th. Right one to the left. Oh, went a bit too deep there, and that's an invalidation, so it actually might not even be investigated at all, since he's invalidated. So he will be annoyed with that attempt there, as Simulix was next up. He's also invalidated. Zane, he's on another flight. Oh, scratch that, he's now gone off. And yep, that's everyone who's now no longer on a fly there. I think Rudy, is it? Oh no, it's Noah. Noah is the next one to begin a flying lap in the AlphaTauri, currently in 7th with a 1:14.605. As he's coming into turn 1 there, down to 3rd. Oh, keeps it in 3rd, that would go on the 2nd, then short shift to 4th, but it's up to them as he takes the exact same line as LP_Zane did and doesn't invalidate, so that's very interesting with track limits. But 28.1 then in the first sector, that's decent. We saw the Merc do a 28.1 and also Tux Tomatoes, so that is a decent first sector, but will it be good enough in sector 2 and 3? As he's now approaching the S section now. Really pushing the car to its limit. Oh, you can see him trying to fight it too much there. Somehow not an invalidation. Keeps the car under control. Good car control, and he backs off as he knew he's not going to improve there. As I believe that's Freaky Fast behind him. He's invalidated. What about the other Alpine? Currently on the front row right now with a 1:14.3. He's still going. He's apparently improved on his lap time. Now to the next right. Into the hairpin corner where possible overtaking opportunity can happen if you get a good run out of the corner before that. Now into the final. See what he can do. Coming to the line. Shortest route possible yet again. Will it be a 30? No, he just missed out. 14 flat there, but finds 2/10 improvement. You will be happy with that lap. And we'll be looking to try and take pole as Martin now improves on his lap with a 14.3. As next up of Slimball was next. The McLaren of LRB, I believe. Or is that Knuth? It is Knuth. Knuth moves to 2nd place as the Mercedes of Gustav is now starting a lap. Now we have Ron Zeus, another title contender this season. He's been doing well for the Aston Martin team, as now he's come around the final corner. Let's see what he can do to the line, and it's 9th with a 1:14.571 as Rudy, I believe, just set a lap. Gone 7th with a 14.4. As Trinity is next, is it? Or is it actually Cameron? Cameron was next. He invalidated, it looks like, so he'll have to go again. As I believe that's DV now, who's next up, and then it's LRB, and then it's Trinity. DV goes 3rd, and that's his lap done then. He will be happy with that, but will he be able to hold it? As now the McLaren approaching the final corner, will he be able to answer to any of the drivers up front? And no, stays 11th as we're going board with Trinity. Trinity goes 9th. A bit better from him, but not good enough for the championship side. He needs to get a better qualifying result in future, as Noah then improves on his lap in the end and goes 6th place at the moment. As Freaky Fast, is it? No, it's Shane. He's pitting, obviously. He won't be on another lap. Rudy's definitely not on another. What about Jabraka? Jabraka could be, and so could Cameron Young or Tux Tamar. As he's up by 1.5 tenths there, currently in 7th. 1.5 tenths could promote him to 3rd where his teammate is, so this is a very good chance for Haas to gain on their rivals. And through the final corner, let's see what he can do. He didn't get a good exit. Oh, and he's into the wall, and that's, wow. He's round. Cameron Young doesn't set a lap time, no time set there, so he will be disappointed starting in 17th. But it isn't the worst place you could be. You could be 1st and lose 4 positions before turn 1, so it's not really the end of the world. As I don't believe anybody else will be improving. Knuth's completely backed off, and same with Ron Zeus. So that's qualifying over then. As for some reason the trick flag's gone, but I have a 30-second clock. I think this is the new glitch which Krypton and some of the PSGL admins was telling me about, which is awesome to see. Hopefully that does fix in the normal race session. Oh, I'll need one Zeus and Knuth to retire, so we can get into the race session obviously. And there we go. Oh then, Shane then, you're fastest in the Alpine with a 1:14 flat then, a 10th, quicker than last week winner Knuth in the McLaren in second. DV still fighting for this championship in third, with Martin in fourth, good job there for the Williams driver. JR in fifth, Noah in sixth, ahead of his teammate this time. It's been a while since we've seen that. Jabraka in seventh, Slimbot eighth, Rudy ninth, and Trinity, our championship point leader, in 10th, with Ron Zeus, his championship driver, right on his tail in 11th. As I will go down the rest of the grid on the formation lap, and I will give out my race prediction. If you guys want to give your race prediction, do leave it in the comments, and I'll read them out on stream if I get the chance. As I believe the weather is clear, or cloudy, or whatever it is for the race, so I got told there was no rain expected. As we wait for players now, as the countdown has begun then, so some people are ready already for their race strategies. Some people are tuning their race strategies up for the race. Could see a one-stop strategy work, could see 2 stops. Obviously no one's going to go for 3-stop unless they're being really aggressive, but I think 2-stop is the way to go around here, as the undercut is very powerful. But some drivers I've heard in the chat have been saying 1-stop could be an option. So it could be very interesting how that plays out, as we should be going on the formation lap now. Please don't be glitched. It's not brilliant. I was getting worried then. As there we go then. As we get all the track map, all the dates up then, and as we were going through the grid then, so we did the top 10. As I said, Ron Zeus is in 11th, he's on medium tyres. The McLaren of LRB 05 on the also mediums, same with Jax in 13th, Freaky Fast in 14th, Simblix in 15th, OP Zane then it did get a lap in the end in 16th position. Tox Tamara in 17th with no lap time set in quali, but is in a good position near the back. If there is carnage into turn 1, which there could be, it is F4, we've seen some questionable driving at some points, and there's some chaos as well, so it could be very interesting. As Gustav then lines up at the back of the grid in the Mercedes, so he's got a job on to do if he wants to help the Mercedes team out today. Have a look. Shane, he's going to have to watch his mirrors into turn 1, because he's going to have cars behind him, on the left of him and on the right, probably before turn 1, so he's going to have to defend like crazy if he wants to try and keep the lead into turn 1. Let's see how he can do it then. As my race prediction, as I did say, is going to be with Knuth taking the win, DV second. I'm going to go with Trinity third on strategy, and then fourth, I'm going to go for Ron Zeus as well. He's also got a good strategy call, so I think he could get a decent result in fourth. I think it could work out. Oh then, Shane is now lining up on the grid. As we should be going lights out very shortly, as Gustav has lined up now. As this camera angle will stay hopefully, as we now 3, 4, 5 red lights for round number 12 at Mexico for the PSF4 tier, and we're underway, and it looks like Shane's had an okay start, but Knuth doesn't get a good start at all. Neither's DV. Shane at the moment doing quite well, however though, Knuth in the second phase now, trying to make a move, going on the inside, as we see Trinity making spaces, and Cameron's already in the 16th, as we're going 3 wide, all over the place, almost 4 wide near the back, as the Alpine holds the line 3 wide into turn 1, between the Haas, Williams and the Merc. Oh, and this is going to end in tears, and it has ended in tears. Martin all the way near the back, and there's carnage from front wing going off, and that is a Merc's front wing, and I think that's Gustav's got damage to the front wing on the right end plate. or somebody, because I saw a bit of red. So it's either a Red Bull or a, I would say Aston or even a Merc. As it could be JR Lautus actually. It's Trinity now making a move. It's going side by side with the Merc, going very close there. And Trinity already into 6th place. That's what the championship leader needs to do, to fight his way through the field to keep his championship lead. As right now he's doing a cracking job, already into 6th in lap 1. Have a look, back to the front. Shane still leads. Knuth right on his tail. DV not that far, and he's got both AlphaTauris in the background. As we see now, JR is getting passed by Jabraka now. As there's yellows in the background. I believe that is the Alfa Romeo making an error, and he's kept out of the wall. It's Freaky Fast now making a move, and that's Slimbo going slow. He's had a shocking start. Shane currently sets the new fastest lap, obviously. It's been lap 1. As oh, hang on, JR in the pit lane then. So he decided to go in. I'm going to keep an eye on the battles on Rudy actually. This is going to be crucial for the championship. Maybe team orders are getting in play here. Noah on the outside doesn't really fight him and says, you know what, you can have the position, you are fighting for the title. And Rudy then through into 4th now and on his charge to try and catch DV. But don't count out this man. Trinity in 6th position right now, only 9/10 off the AlphaTauri right now, so he's not that far off. However, Jabraka not that far off him either. So there's going to be a lot of mind games and a lot of team tactics possibly happening in this race, as we're on lap number 2 out of 36. So it's plenty of action still to come, as Shane still leads with Knuth 2nd and DV in 3rd. As it looked like Cameron actually, or Toxic, had to pit, so he did get some damage then, so might have been a bit unlucky there. However though, we're going to go on board with DV and Rudy right now, getting in a bit close and personal in the S section, as the 2 front runners are now starting to pull away with it. Already got a DRS gap of 1.6 seconds from Knuth to DV, as there's drivers going side by side, it looks like. Freak Fast and Simblitz there switching around. However, DV gets a good exit. New fast start from Knuth is a 1:18. As don't like Knuth's making a move or anything. Oh, he could actually, to be honest. He's not that far off. We're going to go back on with the leader. Simblitz has called it a day then in the pit lane. So Williams' team are not having a good day in the office. And when DRS gets active, Shane is going to be a sitting duck down the straight against that McLaren. As Cameron's been picked up a 3-second penalty already, and that's Mexico for you. Penalties are very easy to get, as the McLaren of Knuth now really starting to reel in Shane. You can just feel he's got more confidence in the car and more pace at the moment than Shane does, but Shane's doing a cracking job to defend. Although DV's holding up a massive train. Ron Zeus is in a good position as well. I said he could be up there, and he's already in 7th on mediums, so he's doing a cracking job for the team, for Aston as well, since Slimbo's in a lonely 16th position, and probably not going to get score points for today. However, is it time for Knuth? Next lap will have DRS, so no, he's got DRS now actually, so DRS will be activated, and he's using it to full effect now. Down the long straight, he's not even using the DRS. That's how OP the DRS is, and he's not going for it yet, which is smart. As there could be a possible overtake now between Ron Zeus and Jabraka. Jabraka and Ron Zeus now fighting side by side, going in 7th, and now Zane as well, switching positions with Martin. So very easy overtake from those drivers, as DV has lost position to Rudy. We did miss that, unfortunately, as we're on board with other fights, as Jabraka could be under threat by the Aston if he's not careful. But now he's okay for now, actually, to be honest, as Rudy now is ahead of one of the title contenders. He is the title contender, obviously, but he's ahead of one, and actually he's ahead of all of them, so he is doing a cracking job for the AlphaTauri team, and a cracking job for himself, as his next job is to catch up with Knuth in 2nd, only a 2nd up the road, and he's reeling in now, as the gap was 1.4 from DV to Knuth. It's now under a 2nd, so almost in DRS range, and Rudy is doing a cracking job right now, and already on lap 4, trying to get in that DRS range. As surely Knuth's now going to make an overtake on Shane. Rudy sets new fast start, 1:17.7. No wonder he is flying through the grid right now, as we will keep an eye out. But Knuth then, right on the tail of the Alpine, making an overtake. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Easy move there, into turn 1. and he's got him there. He takes the lead of the race on lap number 5. Will he be able to hold it though? Shane is not that far off, and he actually might go for another run. Not for now. However, we're going to keep him an eye on Noah. He's got the Red Bull of Trinity behind him, and it's just a slipstream train. Any overtakes further behind? Gustav making any overtakes? He's close, but not close enough for now. So we're just going to have to wait another lap for any overtaking to happen. I did say Rudy was gaining, but that gap has increased now to 1.5 seconds. DV's lost DRS range to Rudy, and he's using his DRS, he's draining it, which isn't the best thing to do, especially when the guys behind him are just saving it, not really using DRS and keeping up with his pace. So maybe DV was running a quali setup, and maybe just tuning for quali, because right now he's just shredding through the DRS, shredding probably through his tyres to try and keep up with Rudy. As Knuff sets a new fastest lap, 1:17.5, so now he's picked up the pace in the lead. That's DV though, trying to get back on Rudy. No joy at the moment, as we can see a not possible overtake in the background there now between Gustav and LRB in the McLaren versus Mercedes. Side by side they're going through turn 1, both medium runners. Oh, McLaren there locks up on the right front. However though, nice wheel to wheel. Trying switchbacks there, but can't make it work for Gustav, as he's doing a cracking job. Started last and already into 10th, now moving into 9th now. Goes on the inside, he's got the run and easy overtake, but will the McLaren try a switchback to make it a challenge? And no, he has to wait for now. Gustav then moves into 9th, and good overtake from the Merc. Good defending though from the McLaren. As we're now going to jump back on board with DV. He's still trying to just squeeze a little bit more pace out of that Haas to keep up with Rudy, but could that affect him later on in the race with the tyres or getting any warnings through the S section? Because if you push it too much, you can end up in the barrier. That was Shane though, still can't keep up with Knuff. Gap now 5/10. It's been like that for a couple of laps now. Oh, DB there makes a low error. Could have easily planted it into the wall, and that might have opened the door for Noah. However though, has DV got DRS? Yes he has, so he's safe from Noah attacking him at the moment. However though, the battle for the lead is heating up. Shane now making a move on Knuff. Side by side now, down the long straight. It's going to be an easy overtake, and he is through now. He retakes the lead, and he will be happy with that, as he's now approaching turn number 2, and people now are picking up penalties. Slimbo now picks up 3 seconds, same with Shane. So he's going to have to watch out, and when he does pit, he might have to decide to do the undercut and try and stretch his medium stint to try and pull a gap to Knuff and make a gap of 3 seconds. That's right, now they're cussing. Knuff actually made an error there through the S section. That dirty air's easily going to start affecting him, as Rudy's made a big error. Earlier on the gap was around about a second, now the gap's now 4/10, as he already shredded his softs already after he was pushing on him that much, and could that affect him? As DB now is hot on his heels, ready to pounce, ready to get that position, and ready to take third. Or will Rudy be able to defend with all his might to try and keep this position? Only time will tell, as DB's now been a bit better with the ref, but he's signed the pit. He's gone for the undercut. This is an aggressive undercut strategy very early, especially for the soft runners. Usually they pit around about lap 10, so it's a 2-lap early stop. So interesting indeed for DB there. He will come out in clean air, I believe. There's no overtakes at the moment, as we're going back on board with Knuff. No, he's not close enough. Now we'll go back on board with DB. He's now leaving the pit lane in clean air. Oh, and there's been an incident in the hairpin. I believe Slimbo has been caught with Toxic Tomato, and he's been given a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. Oh, and he's binned it into the wall, and he's round, and lucky there to not lose his wheel, but he might have got minor rear wing damage, and I think he's going to call it a day for the Red Bull mechanics. And yeah, he has called it a day. He's not happy with what Slimbo did, and well, he wasn't happy with Slimbo in Japan after Slimbo said he deliberately retired on track. So it's very interesting between those two drivers. Very heated under the collar at the moment. But Trinity's not doing a good job at the moment. He is in 5th, but he's losing DRS range now to Rudy and Noah. So he's going to have to start thinking, will he make the undercut Nope, he hasn't gone in the pits. And the driver's ahead making a very risky call, getting jumped by DV. Because the gap to leader right now is 23.3 seconds from DV. So DV will start getting more pace on those mediums. Yes, the softs can go to lap 14, but the undercut is so powerful around here. You're going to lose a lot of time staying out. As we did miss that actually, Knuth actually re-overtook Shane. So good job there from the McLaren, and he needs to start pulling away. He can't keep fighting because he's just going to wear out his tyres. But I also noticed, because these drivers haven't pit yet, Rudy or Noah are going to get screwed over on the pit stop because they can't double stack. They'll lose too much time. So one's going to have to stay an extra lap out. I think it should have been Noah or Rudy deciding to go for the undercut, to be honest. Same as DV, because DV could pull off a masterclass strategy. The brakes were a bit orange there in the AlphaTauri. As Trinity's now also getting a bit under pressure for fourth. He's in DRS range, but he's got some guys on his tail. He's got Jabraka, Ronzus, Gustav. He's going to have to watch out. He hasn't got that much DRS either though, so he has been burning a bit. People still staying out. Lap number 10. So look, gap to leading now. See how much he's gained. It's 23 seconds, so it's almost in the 22-second window. So he is gaining, DV. Not that much, but he is gaining. And soon he will be gaining a lot compared to these guys on old rubber. He's only on lap 10 of this race. Top 10 at the moment. Knuth leads, Shane second, Rudy third, Noah fourth, Trinity in fifth, having a cracking job at the moment. Jabraka in sixth, Ronzu seventh, Gustav in eighth, who's done a cracking job from starting last. LRB in ninth, and Uppy Zane in 10th place. That is your top 10 at the moment. But obviously that will change with pit stops and everything like that. As we get a brilliant camera shot there. Trinity though is trying his best to keep up with Noah. Will anybody pit? Will the front runners pit? And nope, they stay out for another lap. Is anyone going to go in? And Noah's in the pit lane. Noah is in. So Noah's finally made the call. So the AlphaTauri might have made a mistake deciding to pit Noah in first, especially for the championship side, as Rudy has decided to stay out. Maybe not a good call there for the two teammates. As we see. Oh no, that wasn't on. It was just Noah dropping down. Now then, Rudy then now has to make the decision. Do we pit this lap or do we wait an extra lap and try the overcuts? He's really struggling on those soft tyres there. You see he runs off the track completely. And now Rocco's in a bit more trouble now. He's got 3 cars. He's got DRS for now. He now needs to make the choice. Do I stay out, risk getting overtaken by 3 cars down the next straight? Or do I decide to get fresh rubber, go mediums, and maybe change the strategy? It's going to be very interesting what Trinity decides to do. As we're on lap 11 of this race. See what these guys can do right now. Because we're going to go on board with the Haas of Jabraka now. He's in a bit of trouble. Run 2 starting again, and he's on the mediums. Out of his yellows, and nice slimmer out. Will this cause a safety car? We did see drama, and it has. It's caused a safety car, and this is played right in the hands of Trinity and the rest of the guys on the soft tyres. This is kind of screwed over the guys on the mediums because they're not going to get their advantage what they would have had. And everybody is in. Luckily, made it in. So good stop to pit. Everyone is in then. As we watch the Red Bull mechanics serve their only car on the track now. As Gustav gets a 5-second penalty for a collision with Ron Zeus. Ron Zeus might have got a penalty. Let's have a look. Yes, he has, and he will not be happy with that. He will be furious under that helmet. As Trinity then doesn't get held up, and he's going to get passed by DV. And I totally forgot about DV with the pit stop. He actually hasn't gained as much time as I thought he would have, to be honest. And well, he's in 5th then. Rejoins in the position he actually went in the pits, and Zane has decided to stay out. So is this a tactical masterclass for the Ferrari to possibly do a one-stop now? Or is this an error from the Ferrari strategist yet again? As Uppy's in and in second. It's going to be interesting how those mediums are going to play out when the fresher mediums are all over him. We've had 3 DNFs in this race then. Slimbo, Toxic and Simblix. Simblix, I believe, retired on lap 2. Cameron or Toxic DNF 2 laps ago, and then Slimbo just DNF last lap. So, very interesting. And it hasn't been because of people taking them out or anything, it's just mistakes and stuff like that. So it's very interesting, the DNFs, and very interesting that safety car was called, since nobody was really in that area where Slimbo retired, to be honest. So I thought it was necessary, and this helps Jax. Jax is nowhere near the field, and it also helps Martin and JR to catch up, so it's going to help them out on strategy and help them get back into the race. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out. Safety car will probably be out for another 2 laps. It's interesting. Ron Zeus and LR are on hard tyres. I don't know if that's an error, and I think it is an error. Isn't an error. They've decided to go back in the pits. Actually, only Ron Zeus decided to go back in the pits, and Freak Fast is in as well. They're probably going mediums now to the end. Serves is 5 seconds, so his 5 seconds probably won't get removed now. And I think Martin's jumping in because of that 5 seconds as well, so he's losing the position in the pit lane. And Ron Zeus is out. So we have 1 driver on the hard tyres. Is this the correct strategy call for the McLaren? Because obviously I believe everybody else is going to pit again except the McLaren on the fresh mediums. They could try and push it to the end. It's going to be a risk, to be honest, but they could possibly make it to the end. It's going to be interesting how this plays out. I believe the 2-stop will be quicker in the long run. Might not seem quicker, but it will be quicker. You'll be in clean air, and I pray that people actually know how to take safety car. No one gets any 5-second penalties under it. I was just waiting for Jax now, as safety car probably will be in 1 more lap around the track. And yeah, that's definitely doing 1 more lap. It's going to be late if it decides to come in now. And nope, it's late. Safety car will be in this lap then. So Knuth ready to restart, takes the better line, and he is gone as we go back to green flag racing then, as Knuth then gets a good start. Zane in second as we get a nice shot coming down along straight now. As anybody making overtakes, Rudy trying to get in the slip, nobody's close enough right now. Nobody can easily make overtakes, and it's nice to see then 4th, 5th and 6th championship rivals, Rudy, DB and Trinity. Could they be scrapping for possible wins or podiums for this race? As Rudy there makes a little error with a little twitch. There's OP's in, now picks up a penalty, so those tyres aren't helping him, and already under attack by Shane on the fresh mediums. Shane makes a move. Rudy almost makes a late dive there into 3rd position, but holds his nose for now, but may come back at him as Rocco and DB not that far off. Jabraka there, the Haas might try and back him up into his teammate to try and get the pressure off him. And just look how much this dirty edge affects the drivers, as we see Gustav going off the track there. And wow, he will not be happy with that, and probably might get penalised going off the track, making that overtake, as Rudy still trying to make an overtake, as he needs to make it quick, because he's already out of DRS range from Shane and Knuth, and they can pull away and really help them. And we get a nice rear shot of the Ferrari. Knuth, that's a new fast lap, 17.5 on the mediums. Rudy is just getting a brilliant tour, using all the battery, and the Ferrari knows he can't do anything. He's not really in their race, and he doesn't really want to fight as DV. He's now next. He's going in for it. He's going for the move, making the move on the inside line, and he is through on the inside. Easy overtake, and DV and Rudy are through, but Trinity isn't through. He needs to get through ASAP if he wants to try and keep up with these 3, and using all the battery he can now. He's trying everything he can, but he just isn't close enough Is he going to go for a late dive? No, not at the moment. There is an overtake between Noah and Gustav, who's getting a nice rear shot there from the Haas, and Gustav then moves into 8th position. This man is on a mission. He's doing a Hamilton in Mexico, but it was Hamilton in Brazil, starting from last and then winning the race. Maybe Gustav can do that in Mexico for PSGL. Have to wait and see. There's plenty of laps remaining of the race. As Rudy then starting to extend his gap to DV. He needs to do that. Trent's still not made the move. He needs to get a job on. Jabraka and Gustav now are almost scrapping away further behind him. So maybe Gustav's on the correct strategy for the 2 stops. Soft to the end, as he's on the better tyre. As DRS will be enabled, so that Merc's going to get a... Oh god, he's twitching. That's how close he is to the back end of that Haas. Now he's already making an inside line. Don't count out Trinity though. He's probably going for an overtake now. Easy overtake. He's already on the Ferrari. And we can see Jabraka and the Mercedes going side by side. We can now see just ahead of them two is Trinity making the move. He's through as the Haas is still squabbling away the Merc. Merc gets the nose in. He's just ahead of the Haas driver now, using all the battery he can use, and he is through. But is he though? Is the Haas going to come back at him? No, as now the other AlphaTauri is now waiting in the wings on mediums, and he could easily make a possible overtake if we get a nice helicopter shot. There's the Williams just in the background, and Martin trying to keep in this train. And yeah, Trinity needs to get back on a job, because DB's already got a gap to him of 1.3 seconds. Speaking about DB, he's just picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So I did say the strategy and the race strategy he was running could affect his race, and it has. Penalties are already starting to pick up. Shane's now starting to lose to Knuth now. Gap 7.5 tenths, 8 tenths now. So it's not really working for the Haas, for the Alpine driver. And the Haas of Jabraka going to possibly make an easy overtake on Zane. No, he's not using any ERS, which is smart, obviously, as we can see an overtake further behind, further ahead now. Trinity allowing Gustav through. It probably wasn't part of the plan to let him go. I wasn't expecting him to actually get that close and get that much of a good run. But maybe, you know what, let's stay behind this guy. He can pull me along, and I can catch up with DV and Rudy for third. So it's going to be an interesting strat if you can make this work. Look, back on board with DV now. Trying to catch up Rudy. Rudy now losing the rear end there in the S section. You don't want to lose it there. That could be the worst way, and that could just cost you your possible championship this season if you make an error like that. As Rudy though is really feeling the heat, he's going to get possibly an easy position loss down the straight, because DV's going to have the straight line speeds with just DRS alone. Now, don't count out this guy. Gustav is on a mission right now. He's already in the 5th position, challenging for 3rd. That's the new fastest lap. 1:17.236, only a couple of times quicker than the medium runners. And he's using all the battery, all the DRS. Are we possibly going to go 3 wide into turn 1? He's thinking about it. He's putting it there, and we're 3 wide, and it's going to end in tears almost. Oh my god, DV almost shows Rudy. We get a nice camera shot now of the Mercedes. These two are going side by side, and Gustav gets the rear, gets the power on the Merc, and he is through. Gustav moves into 3rd. Rudy isn't finished with DV as these two are going side by side. This could end in tears. Rudy's still on the inside. DV side by side now with the AlphaTauri going side by side, trying to squeeze him off. Keeps it under control, as this is great race in the sea, and this is great for the F4 tier, as nice overtake, and look who is brought back into play. It is Trinity trying to pass Rudy and DV. Now he's back into the fight. 3 title contenders this season gonna go to war at Mexico. As we're only on lap 18 and we're having a fantastic race. And we see Martin now trying to get on the wing of the Ferrari. He was in 2nd on the safety car start, and he's already dropped to 9th. So Zane is really parking a bus in the background there, because he's just got no grip on those mediums. He's on 17 lap old mediums. Surely he can't take him for much longer. And this is going to be a question for the other drivers if they can make uptakes. Knuth now loses a position to Shane, as we've just caught on that. And now Rudy and DV are fighting it out again. As Trinity's got to watch out. He's got the other Haas of Jabraka right on his tail. And could be under threat here. This could be a Haas sandwich tactic on the Red Bull. DB is just waiting to see if Rudy makes an ascent. Oh, and there's a retirement. Could that be a safe call? Is that a manual retirement? Because the Merc is actually still moving. And yeah, that is a manual retirement. I don't believe a safe call will be called. And hopefully it doesn't, because it's not fair on anybody else. As DB went out, mastering it in the S section, but is mastering it also on penalties. That is another 3 seconds. Now he has 6 seconds worth of penalties. This ain't going to help him in this race if he's in this train. Okay, nice camera shot there of the 3 title contenders taking that corner. Let's go on board with DV. Will he go for a run on Rudy this time? He needs to keep up with him. Gap now, 0.6 of a second. And the straight's long enough just to be almost a second behind. As Jabraka's not under threat at the moment. Knuth's not going for an overtake yet. He might go for an overtake later on. It lets me spectate him. Is he going for it? He might be going for it. No, he's not. He's going to stay behind. However, though, back on board with this fight. DV and Rudy. Now they're going side by side into the first sector. And Rudy just doesn't want to fight him. It looks like he just lets him go. Didn't really want to be on the inside line there. And he's... I don't know if he's tried to be smart. Play strategy here so he can have DRS on the next run. But it isn't helping him, because now Gustav's already got a 3.7 gap. And if everybody else is pitting, Gustav's probably got mediums. Gustav could be in a good strategy call to get 3rd place in this race. And there's yellows. That is an Aston. That is a title contender. That is Ron Zeus. Ron Zeus has lost his front wing there in the S section. Looks like he lost control of the car. And that is a shame there for the Aston Martin team. And that could be a blow. And that could cost Ron Zeus the title this season. However, back on board with DV, Rudy and Trinity, fighting for 4th position. Rudy is giving it another go this time. Down the straight. We've also got a battle for the lead as well. We're going to have to keep an eye on that as well. But this is a battle for the championship, to see who can score more points than one another. But no overtake at the moment for Rudy. He's doing what DV did, waiting his turn, but doesn't get a good entry out of 3. And, well, DV, he's safe. I think it should have been smart. Go for it, because now look at Rocco. Look at Trinity. He's not that far off. And look at Jabraka. He isn't that far off either. A little bit of a lock up there, got a bit too close to the AlphaTauri, as the gap between DV and Gustav now 4.4 seconds, and Zane is already down 13th, 20 laps on those mediums. So it's going to be a question if the mediums can last a little bit longer, because they need to, I believe, last 24 laps for everybody here on the mediums to go to the end, if Zane can do it on a heavier fuel load. So it's going to be interesting if they can do it. Trinity's trying his best to keep up with this gap. Lap 22 out of 36. I mean, plenty of action all race long, as LRB gets a 5-second penalty. Rudy don't get a good exit though, and he is safe still. He's not under threat by Trinity, but any more errors and it could be. As I think he's going to wait again. He just doesn't want to go for it. And oh, hang on a minute, what's happened with Trinity? He's in a bit of trouble. Jabraka almost tried to take over him there, overtake him, and no, that could have cost him a couple of points in the fight. And the McLaren still in 2nd place with Knuth and Shane, still fighting for the lead of this race. But don't count out Gustav, 2.7 seconds away, and he's still got a lead of 5.2 now. However, that gap is starting to stabilise. So maybe the softs are now starting to die out, and it's almost in the pit window for the softs. So maybe on lap 24 we'll see Gustav in. And I expect him to be on another set of softs. So he's going to have to either stretch this stint and risk getting a puncture, or pit now and stretch the second stint on a lower fuel load. So it's going to be interesting what he decides to do. As Rudy is possibly going to go for it again. As we're going to go on board with the leader then, as now these two are switching places yet again. Knuth retakes the lead, and Shane has nothing to answer for it, trying everything he can with the switchbacks, and it just isn't working. However, back to the action. Further behind in fourth for the championship right now. DB holding the line in the Haas. Rudy in fifth. Trinity in sixth. It's just a stalemate at the moment. One driver's just waiting for another driver to make an error. I'd just like to say, there's 7 cars in this train fighting for 4th position, and there's 3 cars not that far behind. I don't know if they're catching up or anything, but this is a great fight. Obviously Zane's not catching up, even though he's on 22 lap old mediums. To be honest, Gustav could lose the podium if these guys can make these mediums last to the end, and he ain't going to gain a pit stop back unless these guys pit. It's going to be interesting how Gustav's strategy plays out, and if these guys do pit. As right now then, he's a bit close to Rudy this time. Rudy's also a bit close to DV, and he's saving up his ERS yet again, not using it as much at all, just letting the battery just drain. He's not even touching the battery mode though, and it looks like Gustav is stretching these softs. Lap 11 now, and Zane's in. So the mediums just did 23 laps, so it's going to be a push for these guys. How they're all going to be on lower fuel runs near the end, so it's going to be interesting. DB keeping his head, but hang on a minute, Jabraka, he's looking for a possible overtake, because there's a bit of a gap now between Jabraka and Noah. We get a nice shot from the rear of the Red Bull. Oh, and Jabraka just couldn't get the throttle, just couldn't get the power down on the exit, and makes a little error, but tries to stay within that DRS range. This is probably walking up Trinity, and well, I now need to decide, do I go for the attack on Rudy now, or do I be sitting up for Jabraka to make an overtake to help his teammate, who's currently in fourth? And I believe Gustav will be pitting this lap, and yep, he's in. So the guy on softs is in the pits then, but he's made his scheduled stop. Will this be a good strategy for Gustav? Will he be able to pull something out of the bag? Zane picks up a 3-second time penalty on the fresh soft tyres, so he's going softs to the end. And Gustav's gone medium, so that's very interesting. Look at Jabraka there, just waiting in the wings, a bit of contact almost with the Red Bull there, and he's really starting to pick up the heat. He's going for the inside out of turn 2, into turn 3, gets and the hit. Trinity doesn't get a good exit, loses the rear a bit, and the Haas hits him, but the Haas isn't finished with him yet, and neither is Noah. The two other championship teammate rivals between the Haas and Alvatori trying to get their nose in front and help their teammates out against Trinity. Shane picks up a 3-second time penalty. It's good evening, Oliver. Welcome to the stream, as we're on lap 25 out of 36. Some interesting info. JR, Slimbo, Toxic and Simlix are out of the race, and right now we're having an amazing fight for third at the moment between championship rivals DV, Rudy and Trinity. And right now the championship points leader is currently in third, but DV's in, so DV is making the pit stop. So maybe the mediums they don't feel can go to the end. Will these drivers risk it for the championship's sake, or will they stay out? Sorry, not stay out, that's the opposite of what I was trying to say. Is DV then in the pit lane, as Gustav will get a big run, and he'll retake third then if everybody else is going to pit. But now Trinity is now seeing this as a weakness for Rudy, as this could be a possible overtake. But we can't wait too long, they'll be saying to each other, as DV could get an amazing undercut, as it won't take that long for a set of soft tyres to heat up and get some pace on them. That's lap 26 then. 11 laps remaining of the race. Will be 10 when we cross the line. Oh, there's yellows. And that is a McLaren going slowly. That's LRB. He's done the exact same as Ron Zeus. He's lost his front wing now. And Gustav is almost in attack range. Let's actually have a look to the leader between Gustav. It's 27.4, so he hasn't actually gained that much time. Rudy isn't in. No one's paying 9 on. Jabraka's in. Jabraka is in. So both assistants going for the undercut. And maybe these guys are thinking, you know what? My tyres are good. We haven't pushed that much. Our setups are better. We might risk it. And look who's risking it now. It is Trinity making a move on the inside of Rudy. Goes into third position as, oh, nice break in there from Trinity. Just boxes Rudy back into his teammate. And that is a cracking defensive move there. As Rudy probably wasn't expecting that and probably a bit annoyed as he's wiggling the car there, possibly in a bit of frustration in there. As he's now got to watch out between his teammate. Does he make a call? Did he let his teammate pit first or did he pit first? And, or risk a double stack? Because right now, AlphaTauri could do well in the constructors with this result. There's only one Red Bull is in this race. Trinity's trying his best, but he's got to watch out. Remember, DV is on flyer lap right now. He's at least 3.2 seconds ahead of his teammate, and his teammate was in this train around about 2 seconds, so he's gained a second on his teammate. So if you're going to pit now. If you're not, then you're staying out on the mediums. It's going to be just interesting how this plays out. And the Red Bulls are not going in. Nobody else is going in, so they're staying out. I think they've decided, you know what, we're risking it. It's going to be puncher, or there's going to be a crash. As Rudy now making an overtake on Trinity. Championship rivals still scrapping a race. Gustav sets a new fast lap. 16.7 on the mediums. Gustav is setting blistering laps. And oh my god, DV just beat that only by a couple of tenths. So Gustav is on a flyer. So DV might be catching him, but Gustav, I won't count him out for anything. He is flying. He's only 12 seconds off this group. So, and there's enough laps to catch as Trinity. They're really getting close. You can just flow a blanket over these guys. There's one lap, 28 out of 36 now. Now as LRB's past Ron Zeus there, and Ron Zeus is not having a good day in the office. In 14th at the moment, scoring no points. Else saying they're going to pits, and no, as we have a nice little scrap now for Noah's position. Gap now 9.8 from Gustav, 9.6 now. The gap is closing. Oh, mine almost goes for a dive on Noah there. And Noah's probably getting a bit too close to that Red Bull. You don't want to get too close where desync could be an issue, or you spin the car out, because you will be getting a penalty. As I know that for myself, I did that in F10 and I'm probably getting a penalty. Straight now, making a move on the inside as they go side by side. The two title rivals, nice and tidy, nice and clean race now. Jabraka picks up a 3-second time penalty. The Hasses are in the penalties zone stairs. LRB now sets a new fast lap, 1:15.647. He's not in the points paying position, so he won't be getting the point, but he'll be stopping anybody else getting the points. Gap now 8.6 from Gustav and Freaky Fast now. Gustav is flying. But as we saw earlier, it's not easy to overtake the guys who are in a train. They just stay in a stable formation. You just can't make the overtake work. Oh, as Trinity goes deep, and that could open the door for Noah. He's got to be more careful with the tyres, and maybe the tyres are now starting to have issues. Lap 30. Gap now, Gustav between Freaky Fast, 7 seconds. There is enough time. And these guys are just squabbling away. This is so intense. I thought Trinity would have been up there, or DV or Rudy winning this race, but Shane and Knuth have done a fantastic job. And especially building a gap of 14.7 seconds ahead of these two drivers. Gap now 6.8. And don't count out DV. DV's not that far from Gustav now, 1.9 seconds, but his tyres eventually will be starting to die. And the mediums will start coming back into play. Not the guys who are on 18 lap mediums, or 17 obviously, but I mean the guy who's on fresh mediums in the Mercedes in 8th. Starting lap 31 now. Trinity's a lot closer this time. And he's just using the DRS. He's not even using his battery. He just knows there's no point using the battery. He'll just waste energy. Makes the overtake. And he's through. Gap now 4.8 seconds. Gustav is absolutely flying right now. Now back to 5.1. Maybe Freaky Fast made an error, but even still. Earlier it was 7 seconds just a lap ago, and now it's 5. So the guy is on a mission. And don't count out Noah. He could put a spanner in the works and not help his teammate. As he's not that far off the AlphaTauri, and they might, if they feel like Noah's quicker and could help Rudy later in the race, I'd let him go. As we're going to be starting lap number 32 very soon. Gap now 3.8. DV still hasn't caught up with him yet. Gap 1.4 now. I don't think Trinity's in a good position. He's third, and he's got a lot of quick guys behind him now who are probably going to use the ERS and slipstream. Oh, and hang on a minute. Shane and Knuth are still fighting it out. And whoa, what happened here? Rudy made a massive error, went down to 8 tenths, and Trinity has kept the position. As speaking about people who are not going to keep position soon, it's between Freaky Fast and Martin. Gap now 3.7. As Noah is off the track completely there. As Martin and Freaky Fast going into combat. Alpine versus Williams. Fighting for 6th position. It's just a question which is going to give up, the driver or the tyres. Gap now 2.5 seconds right now. This guy is on a mission. Lap 32 out of 36. Plenty of time, as I've said. You can just see the grip difference, and he probably can't believe it. He's already caught up to this pack. But he's now got to watch out though. He's got DV in his mirrors, so there could be a possible fight. Could be happening. I would watch the fight for the lead over and over, but this is more crucial for the championship, and we've got to keep an eye on this. Trinity gets a good exit, but I don't think it'll be good enough. As Rudy is gaining. And gaining. He is gaining a lot. And is it going to be... Oh God, it's going to be late. He's going for it. He sends it down there. And he is through. Trinity breaks early to try and get him in. Trying the switchback. Trying every little clever little trick he's got in the books from TTG. But he just can't make it work. But hang on a minute. This guy's using DRS and he's losing on the slipstream there between Trinity. As now Gustav now 1.9 seconds as DV's right in his tail. So this is going to be close. DV's tyres are going to fail eventually, so he's not really going to be in it, and especially with the amount of penalties he's got. Lap 33 now. Not that many laps remaining of this race. It looks like either Shane or Knuth are going to win it, obviously. And to be honest, if one of these two want to be a bit risky, they can decide to pit and go for the fastest lap. Because the gap's 17.5 seconds. And to be honest, they're really not under threat for losing the position, I won't think. Oh, it's Gustav now. Already making overtakes. And that's one. He's through. That is Freaky Fast now. In the 7th goes Gustav. He is gained now and he's in the train. Lap 34. He pitted on lap 28, I believe. And hang on a minute. Where's Freaky Fast come from? He's just come out of nowhere. He's back through. And he's defending. Oh, a bit of contact, a bit of wheel banging. Hopefully this doesn't end in tears. Oh, God, the Mercedes had to brake there to watch that his front wing doesn't get taken off. And look at DB now. He's now coming into attack range. And all these two are touching tyres, touching something. They just don't want to rub each other's tyres too much because could easily end up into a wall. Enough clean space, clean racing from these two. And Gustav trying to keep his car in there, but he knows he can't have it. Now he's got to watch out for the other Haas, Jabraka. Trinity, though, has he done enough? Or is Rudy playing the tactical game? As now Martin under threat from DV. Oh, sorry, that's Freaky Fast under threat from DV. My apologies. And look at Gustav now making an overtake. Very aggressive. Oh, there's been a contact again. Gustav really trying to get in there, trying to follow DV's lines. He is through now. And he's going to get the DRS. He's going to get the second DRS zone. And he's going to pull away. As LRB gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But don't count out Freaky Fast yet. He's coming back at Gustav. We'll keep an eye on the fight for the third place as well. Oh my god, the Haas has just hit the Alpine. And he just destroyed his left part of the wing. Well, that's his potential gaining on points over now. He's now going to settle for 10th as won the penultimate lap of the race. And it will go on board with the battle for the lead for the last lap then. See if Knuth will make the overtake, and maybe he's made a good strategy call. He's probably going to get it up from Pens anyway, but right now the eyes are on these two. Trinity versus Rudy. Red Bull versus AlphaTauri. Which tyre is going to pop first? Who's going to be in a wall? Who's going to be taking it home? As right now though, we're going to go on board with Shane. He's defending. He's got no battery. Knuth is weaving on the straight, letting him know that he's there, and these two can celebrate already, to be honest, because they've got that much of a gap. Trinity though, he's in a world of trouble. He's got 1, 2, 3. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. What is he doing? Trinity is in the pits and he's just cost himself a podium, and tyres couldn't make it, so he wasn't risking it. He should have pitted, and he just cost himself a lot of points. As now Rudy takes third position, and it looks like the tyres, oh look at that right front, they are blistering. As Rocco made a good call to pit now very late on in this race, because these tyres I don't think are going to survive much longer. I think Trinity's bottled this race then. And yes, there's a puncher! There is a puncher for the championship contender! Rudy, left front, he's gone! He's losing speed, and he's losing positions. He's trying to defend. This is ridiculous what he's doing. It's careless driving. He needs to move out of the way. Rudy is just losing positions and costing time. The car is gone. He is off on the grass, and he's just losing time. Maybe that's why he didn't want to do it, as Knuth already takes the victory. Shane takes second. Apologies missing that. But right now, Noah will be taking third, and he's done it again. He's beaten his team. He beat him in quality, and he's beaten him in the race, and beaten him on the tyre life. He takes third. Martin takes fourth. DV in fifth. Already drops to seventh though. So maybe this was a tactical advantage. Gustav in 8th, Rudy then gets 7th, Jax in 8th, DV now 9th, Jabraka in 10th. But will Trinity change that? Will he get a point? Or is it not good enough? And no, unfortunately, just missed out there, and that was an error there from Trinity for pitting. He should have risked it, as everybody else did. Zane then 12th, LRB in 13th then, and Ron Zeus will be taking a very disappointing 14th position for Aston. So 2 title contenders losing out there. Well, here we have it then. Knuth takes another victory. This is back-to-back now. He won the Portugal Grand Prix, and now he won the Mexico race. Congratulations to Knuth then for the McLaren team as well. Another victory on the cards. Maybe he could still be in the title contender hunt. As Shane then does take second, loses the win on penalties. And the Alpine team there getting second and third. So here are the unofficial results in case I need to do reports or anything like that. Shane then in second, Freaky Fast in third from 14th, good drive from him. Noah in fourth, Martin in fifth, and Gustav, driver of the day in my opinion, no one can say otherwise. He takes 6th from 18th on the grid. Rudy 7th with that punch there in the end. Jax in 8th. Good recovery drive after a disappointing start to the weekend. DB in 9th. Jabraka 10th and championship point leader. Not a good day for him as Zayd 12th, Ronzu's 13th, LRB 14th, JR in 15th, Slimbo 16th, and Toxic 17th, and Simlix DNF in 18th position. Well then, this has been PSGL F4 tier. It's been an amazing race and a cracking race to watch. I've been your commentator, Iron Leon, or Jared Fosbury. If you guys want to see some more cracking F4 action, as this title's still on the cards for the drivers, join us next time, which is next week on Monday. So, see you guys then. Goodbye for now.